All right, in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to go from a drum brake to a disc brake. Before I start this install, I go by BAP. My name is Adam Bapp, as you see on the title of the screen. This is my Audi S4 over here, and this is my 1993 EG Civic hatch. If you are paying attention to that price at the bottom of the screen, that is the price that I have put into this budget bill. So enough talking about the car, we're gonna jump right into the brakes. First thing first, we're gonna have to remove the hub. Mine is fairly new, so it's gonna slide off. After that, we're gonna have to knock this bolt off so we can remove this. It requires a 32mm socket. When you remove this, make sure you do not lose this bearing that's on the inside. You will need that for later. Next thing you need to do is remove the actual drum pads. And the way you need to do that is by removing these pins right here that's holding it to the hub. I got some needle nose pliers and I just go at it. Push and twist, it should pop right off. Easy as that. Now when it comes to these drum pads, usually you're supposed to remove the springs and separate it, but in this case, it basically, it separated itself as you just seen. Made my job 100 times easier. The next thing you need to do is remove this emergency brake line from the actual pad itself. Now, the most difficult part about this job is removing this e-brake line from this assembly. I found the best way to do it is either taking a 13mm wrench, sliding it on there, and pressing those clips in to slide that out. Or if you have an angle grinder, you could just cut these little levers off and send it this way. But the next things you will need to do is knock out this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, this bolt. And these are 14mm bolts. Once you remove those 4 bolts, then you want to come at this little hub piece with a little hammer, knock it loose, just like that. Now, if you're doing an upgraded brake kit like me, you will not be using this line no more. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and cut right here and eliminate it. Just like so, I use my angle grinder to go ahead and cut this off. Now I'm able to remove this piece. Now, you will be leaking brake fluid, but there's something major. Make sure you keep your brake fluid full so it doesn't have holes all through the lines. I'm gonna just keep enough in there for now to call it a day. Now this part right here is crucial. You need to figure out if you have the flat surface like me, or if you got, it's like a groove. You'll see when you take yours off, it's gonna be a groove right here. And this is how you're gonna make this next purchase. While I'm showing you what adapter piece to get, I'm gonna be going ahead and updating the bushings on this arm. For this brake line bolt right here, it requires a 10mm wrench, and yeah, you're just probably gonna have to go at it. If this doesn't work, then you're gonna have to use the pliers to grip it and twist that off. And then after that, it's basically just, you slide that out. When I mean slide it out, you're sliding out this piece that you see sitting up right here. I got it up in there, and you basically pull down. So this is what the piece look like. And then this piece right here, as you can see, it's spinning freely. So I can just take this piece out, put a new one in. And just like that, it's another day, and I got the piece that we need. First things first, you're gonna insert this just like that. These 2 prongs will always be facing towards the back. Now, once you got your adapter installed with all 4 bolts, go ahead and reinstall this little hub. And don't forget this spacer. Then you can lock the nut on. Now, once you get this bolt tightened down, it's time to install the rotors. Now, you have to install the rotor first. You cannot install this first, because if you install this first, you won't be able to install this. But if you install this first, then you could put this and place it right on top of it. Now, this is what you call a disc brake upgrade. Nice bang for your buck. So now, what you're gonna do is, those little holes on the adapter, that's what these 2 gonna connect on, but it's gonna sit on the inside and not the outside. The caliper is officially tightened down. Only thing I have left to do is put in the actual brake pads themselves. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows how to install the brake pads, but if you don't, I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through it. All right, first things first, you're gonna get 2 of these little things right here and this right here. So it's gonna be 3 pieces all in total. These things right here go right on the inside of this right here. Make sure you push it in there and seat it properly, like that. This is how it should look on each side. Go ahead and knock it out. Bam. Those 2 are installed. Now for this last final piece right here, this goes inside of this right here. And you want to make sure that it seats. You see that little clip? It goes under and over like that, so it holds itself in from this side like that. Now, once you got that on there, you install your brake pads. All right, so the thing with this on there always goes on the inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert it like so. Bam. And then the same thing on this one. Just insert it like so. Bam. Easy as that. Now all you have to do is close this and tighten it up. The last thing we need to install on this brake kit is the new brake line. Now, remember when I told you gotta loosen this right here? I'm gonna go ahead and loosen this and then be able to install this on there. That little screw that you have to unscrew will screw right into this. So basically how that's set up is how you're gonna set this back up. And do not forget your pin. Now, as you can see, I got it hooked up and it's leaking. So we're good to go. I'm gonna fish it through, back, and it's gonna go right here. Now these 2 washers are gonna go on each side, one on the outside, one on the inside. Bam. And this is what it's gonna look like once you put it on. Last thing I have to do is bleed the brakes. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that, but before I get to that step, I don't know if you remember, this is the e-brake line. The stock e-brake line just will not fit. As you can see, it's just not long enough. This is where it's supposed to connect to this right here and go through this. But as you can see, it stops right here. I try pulling and everything. So I'm gonna have to order a new brake line so I can run an emergency brake. But until then, I'm still gonna bleed the brakes. In the meantime, when I turn the car off, I'm gonna just put it in the gear. The transmission will lock it up. I don't really care about my transmission because I'm gonna replace all of that later. I don't recommend you guys doing it, but if you're in a situation like me, you can always use your transmission, put it in gear once you turn the car off and the car won't move. Now, this is the port where you bleed your brakes. Don't forget to put this back on your brake line. I almost forgot. Before I start bleeding my brakes, I'm gonna fill this up because like I said, fill it up before you start because you're gonna lose brake fluid. And I'm happy I did because it's almost at the bottom and I would have to flush the whole system. And the sequence, if you're gonna do all of them, I'm gonna try to just do the back 2 and then if I need to, I'm gonna do the front, but it's usually this side on the back, then that side, then this side, and this will be the last side that you would do. So you're gonna have to remove this protective cover right here. And bam. Once you get that removed, then you're gonna need you a little mason jar. Mine's is already filled because I was doing the front brakes, but this is full of brake fluid. You're gonna need one end of the cord to go into the fluid. Then this end, no! This end will go right on here. Squeeze it on there. Bam, it's a perfect fit. All right, make sure that the tip of the hose is still under the brake fluid. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on the inside of the car and I'm gonna pump the brakes as many times as I can while at the same time keeping an eye on the reservoir in the front. Because if that goes below required, then I'm gonna have to flush the whole system, which I'm not trying to do. So make sure you keep an eye on this and I'm gonna pump that. I'm gonna set the camera right here so you guys can watch the fluid come out the brake. I ended up getting air into the system. So now I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing. I'm gonna end up doing the front ones too. I'm probably forced to anyway. Let me go ahead and knock it out, then I'm gonna pull this car out. And just like that, the brakes work. I got it in gear right now. There's no e-brake. Let's come over here, follow me. The e-brake is non-existent. And just like that, the disc brakes are installed. I didn't add these tires into that price on the price that you see on the side of the screen. These tires ran me $295. I got them for a deal because they messed up my package, but bam, got some rubber on there for cheap. And yeah, we said nice. Remember, turn your dreams into memories, not wishes. I'll see you later.